What happens when the world's most famous mama, a woman who has built an empire and raised 6 global icons, suddenly puts aside the glitz, the power, and the business deals to step into a role as tender as a caretaker? This is the unexpected story of Kris Jenner turning caretaker for her youngest daughter, Kylie Jenner, after LASIK surgery. A tale not about business, but about family, recovery, and the intimate bond behind the cameras. As lights dim in the Jenner household, the drama begins not with paparazzi flashes, but with the quiet hum of post-surgery care. It was a sunny afternoon in Los Angeles, the city that never blinks, where beauty and perfection often become both a lifestyle and a necessity. For Kylie Jenner, the makeup mogul and youngest billionaire in the Kardashian-Jenner dynasty, the choice to undergo LASIK surgery wasn't just about convenience, it was about clarity. Clarity for a woman who had built her empire on seeing and redefining beauty. But what came next was a chapter few expected: her mother. Kris Jenner, stepping in not as the family CEO, not as the manager of her daughter's career, but as the devoted caretaker tending to Kylie's every need in the vulnerable days following surgery. The scene was set in Kylie's Hidden Hills mansion, usually alive with the buzz of glam squads, stylists, and business meetings. The atmosphere had shifted. Curtains were drawn, the lights dimmed, and for once, the spotlight was turned off. Here, in the quiet, Kylie rested her eyes, sensitive, covered with protective shields, her voice softer than the confident tone millions recognize on Instagram. She was not Kylie Cosmetics' boss here. She was not the reality TV star here. She was simply Kylie, recovering, relying on her mother in a way that took their relationship back to its purest form. Kris Jenner, often portrayed as the unshakable matriarch of the Kardashian-Jenner family, stood at her daughter's bedside. The woman who once orchestrated million-dollar deals, managed public image crises, and steered her family into becoming one of the most influential dynasties in pop culture history, was now orchestrating something far more delicate: Kylie's comfort. She brought her water, ensured her medications were on schedule, and whispered reassurances with a tenderness that reminded the world behind the empire. She is a mother first. The cameras, if they had been there, would have caught a side of Kris rarely revealed. This wasn't about designer outfits, bold one-liners, or high-profile meetings. This was about a mother watching over her youngest child, remembering the little girl she once cradled, now grown into a woman who still needed her in moments of fragility. "It's okay, Kai," she murmured, her voice a gentle melody of strength and warmth. For Kylie, this moment was more than physical healing. LASIK surgery may have promised clearer vision, but the experience gave her something equally profound: a renewed sense of closeness with her mother. The world often sees Kylie as independent, unstoppable, and always in control. Yet here she was, dependent, resting, and comforted by the woman who had stood by her since the beginning. The narrative shifted from independence to interdependence, from the mogul to the daughter. As hours turned into days, Kris Jenner's role as caretaker deepened. She organized meals, ensuring they were soft and easy for Kylie to manage without strain. She dimmed lights in the house, walking ahead of Kylie to gently guide her when she needed to move. The once high-energy household quieted down, creating a cocoon of recovery and care. In this silence, a new kind of drama unfolded, one without arguments or scandals, but rich with intimacy, patience, and the quiet strength of maternal love. Family members checked in. Kim called, her voice filled with both concern and sisterly teasing. Khloe texted long strings of encouragement. Kendall offered practical advice, having gone through her own eye procedure before, but it was Kris who remained at the center, orchestrating everything with the precision of a seasoned leader and the tenderness of a mother. It was as though the entire Kardashian-Jenner clan understood. This was Kylie's moment of vulnerability, and Kris would not leave her side. The irony was not lost on those watching from the shadows of their public lives. For years, tabloids and critics had painted Kris Jenner as the relentless manager, a woman whose drive sometimes overshadowed her softer side. Yet here was proof, unfiltered and uncreated, that beneath the mogul exterior beat the heart of a mother who would do anything for her child. Whether it was managing a billion-dollar brand or ensuring her daughter's eyes healed properly, Kris approached both with the same unstoppable determination. Kylie herself, though resting, took moments to reflect aloud. Her voice was quiet but sincere. "I've always seen my mom as strong," she whispered to Kris one evening, the dim light of the room casting shadows on her recovering face. "But seeing you like this taking care of MIT makes me realize that strength isn't just in what you build, it's in how you love." Kris squeezed her hand, her eyes misting with an emotion rarely caught on camera. The recovery period was not without its challenges. Discomfort, sensitivity, and moments of frustration tested Kylie's patience. But Kris's steady presence anchored her. She reminded Kylie to rest, reassured her when the discomfort felt overwhelming, and kept her spirits high with gentle humor. In many ways, the LASIK recovery became a metaphor for their bond. Even when life blurred, even when clarity was momentarily lost, the trust between mother and daughter remained sharp and unwavering. As the days passed, Kylie's vision grew clearer. The shields came off, the sensitivity faded, and the world before her sharpened with new clarity. She marveled at the smallest things, the details of her daughter Stormy's drawings. The crisp outlines of her home, the way sunlight streamed through her windows in perfect, sharp beams. But perhaps the greatest clarity wasn't just in what she could sit, was in what she had felt during recovery. She saw her mother in a new light, not just as Kris Jenner, the powerhouse, the manager, the matriarch, but as the caretaker who had reminded her of the purest kind of love. And Kris, for her, the experience was equally profound. To be needed again in such a simple yet vital way brought back memories of raising her children before fame consumed their lives. She admitted, in quiet moments to those close to her, that these days of care had been a gift, a chance to step back from the empire and step closer into motherhood. By the time Kylie fully recovered, the experience had left its mark on both women. The world would soon see Kylie back in her element, running her brand, attending photo shoots, dazzling millions with her every move. Kris would return to the whirlwind of negotiations, contracts, and family affairs. Yet the bond forged in those quiet days of LASIK recovery remained. It was a reminder that even in the most extraordinary families, the simplest acts, like a mother caring for her daughter, hold the greatest meaning. The story of Kris Jenner turning caretaker for Kylie Jenner after LASIK surgery is not one of glamour or spectacle. It is one of tenderness, of love, of a mother stepping in when her daughter needed her most. Behind the headlines, behind the flashing cameras, lies this truth. For all their fame, the Kardashians are still a family, bound by moments as intimate as this. And so, when the lights returned, when the cameras rolled again, and when Kylie stepped back into the spotlight with eyes sharper than ever before, there was an invisible thread connecting her to those days of recovery. A thread woven by care, by patience, and by a mother's love. For in those days, Kris Jenner reminded the world of a truth as clear as Kylie's new vision. Empires may be built on ambition, but families are sustained by love.